Are you sick of filling your free time with TV and social media and are looking for a new hobby? Crochet is the perfect skill that is easy to pick up, relaxing, and provides many health benefits. In this speech, I'm going to discuss what is crochet, what is the difference between crochet and knitting, and the mental health benefits associated with crochet. According to the historycooperative.org, crochet is a type of needlecraft where a hook, such as this, is used to make a fabric from loops of yarn. The word crochet itself is French, meaning hook. Often crochet is seen to make blankets, scarves, hats, clothes, and toys, similar to this one, but the possibilities are only limited to your creativity. So next, let's dive into the differences between crochet and knitting. When the topic of crochet is brought up, often the thought of knitting is not far behind. And while these two are within the same craft family, they maintain many differences. First is the type of tools that are used. So crochet uses a single crochet hook, like I showed previously, which aids in pulling the yarn through the loops, while knitting uses two needles, where the work is transferred from needle to needle and loop to loop. Next is how the stitches look. So a stitch, first and foremost, is a single loop or pass in the fabric making process. Crochet closes one stitch before moving into the next, making knot-like looking fabric like this, while knitting keeps many stitches open at a time, creating more of a V-looking stitch and pattern. And this also goes into my next point of the difference between the resulting fabric. So crochet fabric is typically highly textured and sturdier due to these individual stitches or knots, while knitting fabric is smoother and stretchier. There are also different techniques between the two different types of crafts. Crochet is much more simplistic, and it has the techniques available are a lot more minimal, while knitting can support more sophisticated designs, and this aids in the complexity and difficulty of the patterns. And lastly is the time that it takes to complete both. And as mentioned previously with the techniques, due to being a little more simpler, crochet often takes less time than knitting does. And while both of these crafts are great choices for a new hobby, crochet is much more suggested for beginners as it takes less time, uses less tools, and has easier techniques to be self-taught. Last, I'm going to talk about the mental health benefits. So the American Counseling Association analyzed the impacts of crochet therapy in groups, and they did this with elderly, disabled, and mentally ill or struggling patients. And from the study came the following. It resulted in reduce in depression, and this is because the act of crochet was shown to release serotonin that act as a natural antidepressant. It also reduced anxiety because you can keep your hands busy. This keeps your mind busy. And it also helps bring the internal mind to a calmer place. And when you're dealing with repetitive anxious thoughts, it keeps your mind on the act of crocheting rather than those thoughts. And it also reduces or postpones dementia. And it was proven by neuropsychiatrist Jonas Jetta that crochet is a neuroprotectant that may reduce dementia by as much as 50%. Overall, crochet is not only a fun, easy to learn, and relaxing hobby, it can also aid in reducing depression, anxiety, and dementia. That sounds like a pretty great hobby to me. So now that you know more about this wonderful skill, I really hope that you consider trying it soon. Thank you for listening.